Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, welcome to a Poetic Slice of Life. Poetic Slice of Life is a poetry group that is on allpoetry.com, the largest poetry website in the world. And I am Steven76, and with me, as always, is my lovely wife, Kay.
Hello.
And tonight, this is the debut episode, so we're just going to iron out some bugs and have some fun and read some poetry.
We should tell them what this group is about that we decided to start.
Well, mainly the group is about life, literature, movies, television, music, poetry, classic poetry. We pretty much left it wide open to almost anything. So we're going to have some dark shows. We're going to have some shows about music, shows about books.
Literature, yeah. Yeah, a little bit of everything. That is definitely our speed that I know I'd like to see in shows. Because we're kind of boring folk, but also kind of, goofy folk.
Goofy, crazy.
Yeah, who's also a little bit articulated.
Nuts. Somebody on the board said nuts earlier. That's what we are.
A little bit of everything.
Brownies with nuts. And we will say hi to everybody that's out there on the board. Heavenly Angel, Deanne, Bud Ho, which you said his name is Dan.
Yeah.
And I think Zappa's still out there maybe. And Diabolical Beard.
And we have a caller.
We have our first caller.
I believe it's Dave.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, you guys? Congrats on your new room, group, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully we're going to make it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, if you guys have got anything to do with it, it'll be fun. I know that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Sure.
I should say happy Halloween to everybody out there, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Although if we're here, we don't have plans for Halloween.
Nope.
I don't either.
And we're those people. We don't even have the porch light on. Just letting them walk right by while we sit in here and eat candy.
I would maybe.
Well, we don't have any little trick-or-treaters that come by my house, so I don't have to do anything special, just exist, I guess. I should have got some Halloween candy for myself, though.
Tomorrow's the day to get it when they mark it down to 50% off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can trick-or-treat myself,
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just knock on your own door, say trick or treat, say here you go.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Be like there's a Christmas episode of Mr. Bean where he filled out a bunch of Christmas cards, walked out of his door, and then shoved them all into the slot. Yeah. And then when he walked back in, he was like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to believe in. Oh my gosh.
All right. Did we want to read some poetry? Or?
First, ask Dave if he has to read and run.
True. I'm still excited about the new show. Did you have to read and run, Dave?
No.
Excellent.
Okay. Then what I am going to do is, since Heavenly Angel's on the board, and she flits a lot because she's a busy gal, I'm going to get hers. Whoops, read first. So let me grab that. Run into the room.
Like to watch you run.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. And I guess I will read.
All right.
Okay, this is by Heavenly Angel, and it is called Abigail. Come, little children, and hear the tale of the evil old witch Abigail. The story goes she seeks revenge for being hung in 1690. Her death she will avenge. Halloween night is when she flies, cackling, laughing her evil laugh throughout the eerie night. Beware, little children, do take care. She is evil and will cause quite a scare. An evil witch she is, old Abigail, causing terror with her heinous spells. End poem.
Wow. Yeah, she doesn't
That's
sound
a cool
nice.
picture.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a statue,
Yeah. Or somebody I wouldn't want to meet.
You have people like that.
Yeah.
Renee.
Yeah. I have to apologize to Heavenly Angel too, though, because maybe it's whenever I hear about witches, I think of Bugs Bunny and that witch that was always in that cartoon, and whenever she'd take off running, hairpins would be left in the air behind her. I can't think of what her name was, though.
Yeah, beats me.
Yeah, but she wasn't very smart, always getting outsmarted by a rabbit.
Yeah, I know. Well, he was smarter
Yeah,
than everybody.
really.
But I think this is an excellent write. A quick little brevity that actually tells a pretty good story. Takes you all the way back to when she was hung and how she's going to get a revenge on anybody she can get her hands on. Excellent write, Angel. Thank you for bringing this. What did you think, hon?
Oh, cool. Yeah. I just wanted to say that, I definitely think this is a cool write because, as you said, this does describe the tale of somebody who is hell-bent on seeking vengeance. And I always say that if a person, their spirit roams in death, then they definitely died a death that was untimely, and they won't be at rest until they feel they find their own justice and they avenge what caused their unrest. This is an awesome write, Angel.
All right. And Dave, what did you think?
I like this. I especially like the picture, like I said earlier. I like the opening stanza here. Come, little children, and hear the tale of an evil old witch, Abigail. The story goes she seeks revenge for being hung in 1960. Her death she will avenge. That kind of sets the whole poem up for, what's going on with it. I thought she did a good job with that. She says a lot in those lines like that, and in the amount of lines that she has. I don't know. It's just this one is really right in the vein, right square in the middle of Halloween, as far as I'm concerned. And I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really well done.
Excellent comment. And do we have some people knocking on the door?
Yeah, I brought in Sky.
Hello, Sky.
Hi.
Hi, Sky.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. 2 hours of that was enough, so I've given up. Now I'm home again.
How much candy did you get?
We got a lot of candy.
Oh my goodness. Well, the thing is too is that we hung out. Like I hung out for a little while, and then I had candy outside, and I didn't have any trick or treaters come over my house. So now I have all my candy too here.
Boy, you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No.
You get some good stuff.
Yeah,
my
chocolate.
favorite's the Baby Ruth.
Twizzlers, chocolate. My teeth are going to be aching. I do have a 4-year-old on a sugar rush, so I might need to mute from time to time.
Okay.
Hi, Heavenly Angel. She said hi, so I just said that.
Yeah. Did you hear Heavenly Angel's poem, Sky?
I didn't, but I read it and I thought it was awesome. I really liked the beginning and the "Come Little Children" because it reminded me of what's that? I love it, that movie, and you can't think of movies, the names when you want to. With the Sanderson sisters. The song that says, "Come Little Children." Huh?
Was it Hocus Pocus?
Yes, Hocus Pocus. Thank you. One of the best Halloween movies. But that song, when she's singing, is so creepy. So I loved that opening line, whether it was a play on it or not. It just made me think of it. But I loved the brevity, and I really loved it. Beware, little children, do take care. And great rhymes, great, clever Halloween write. And that's a really creepy picture. I do like too the historical, the 1690, where death will avenge. I like that. Is that really true?
I don't know.
It must be.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. That's really cool though. She did that.
got hung in that year, didn't they?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that was the
that's-
High Enlightened Age.
Yeah.
Oh, she's saying yes, I think, on the board. So yeah, I guess it must be true. That's really cool. You put some history in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready for another?
Yeah. I'm gonna let either you or Dave.
Want me to read Terror by Arbab?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a brevity. I like the picture. Lighthouse, will that turns upon the sea, swelling wave of ocean before rising waves, pines that autumn never sees, shadow of advancing death, hushed silence of graves, a child that has lost its mother and sees a mastiff coming, helmsman's bark of old that ferries the dead to hell. End poem. Yikes.
I'll say, wow. Dripping
That's some
gloom
dark
here.
stuff there, man.
Yeah, sure is.
In my
Worth
contest,
the
and I
flashlight.
gave him gold.
Yeah, that's definitely worth the gold. I tell you, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, talk about some dark imagery. That last line is just powerful. It just brings it all together. But the middle one too, the pines that autumn never sees, shadow of advancing death, hushed silence of the graves. This is really cool. Arbab enters my contest a lot too, so I get to read him a lot. But I don't think I've ever read anything dark from him before, and this is just wow, blew me away. As I was reading it, I got chills.
Well, then he did good.
Yeah. What do you think, honey?
Yeah, obviously I liked it because this was in my contest. I think I wanted 50 words or less, and he packed a powerhouse with this because I wanted the picture. You know, it's a picture of a pumpkin looking scary on Halloween night. So I told everybody in words to tell me a tale of a scary Halloween night. And he definitely, yeah. This one blew me away, yeah. This is just, yeah, I'm kind of speechless, actually. It's amazing. So that's why I had to ask him, can I have this read on our show tonight? Because this is just too awesome. And with tonight being Halloween, why not? So thank you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. What do you think, Dave?
Well, yeah, this was definitely pretty scary and pretty dark. My two favorite lines are in the last stanza. A child that has lost its mother and sees a mastiff coming, helmsman's bark of old that carries the dead to hell. Must be talking about the river Styx, you know, and carrying that thing. You know, I always, I don't know, for some reason that picture of a ferryman taking people over to hell across the river Styx always is really scary and dismal to me. And the way he put that in there as the last line, I thought that was pretty well done, you know. So it's a good poem, really good. Says a lot in those lines and stuff. You know, I can see why it won the gold. Good job, really good job.
Excellent comment. And Sky, what did you think?
You know, I love the images, and when it starts out with lighthouse that will that turns upon a sea, you kind of get this the background of what you're actually seeing here with that lone lighthouse, you know, putting light, you know, across the water, and I love that opening image. And then you go on to even further to the backdrop of that, maybe with the pines and the autumn never sees, shadow, advancing death, hushed silence of graves. There's just so many images in such a short piece of poetry. It really it comes in with a kick, definitely. Very well done.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually the only one from my Halloween contest that I had to ask if we could share tonight, because that one just, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy.
It is, yeah. So, yeah, once again, our bad, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. And then Dan's on the board.
All right.
Did you want
I think, Dave, do you think you could read for Dan?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, okay. Is that the one called Into the Abyss?
Yep.
Okay. Into the Abyss. This gentleman calls himself Budho, I guess. Ebony pitch of night, nails clawing sideboards. It is approaching the fetid stench of death whilst under the door cleft. Skin drenched in numbing sweat, I angle towards the window. Feeble attempt I grasp as the door creaks unbolted. Apparition, fear, silhouetted, scowls at me with veracity. Hell hath soon departed. End poem. Whew.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since you read it, you get to comment first.
Okay. I like the way he sets this up, Ebony pitch of night, nails clawing sideboards, it's approaching. When he says it's approaching, you get to hear this thing coming, and the anticipation is sometimes worse than the actual event, Then he starts talking about the way it smells, It's just a fetid stench of death wafts under the door cleft. Then he says how he's feeling. He's drenched in sweat, and he tries to get over to the window, wants to get away, and as the door creaks, comes open, apparition, fierce silhouetted, scowls at me with veracity, hell hath not soon departed. And then he kind of says what happens once the door's open. It's good storytelling, in brevity, and very, very well done, as far as descriptions and stuff go. I liked this a lot. I thought it was really, really pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it too. I saw on the board he mentioned that this was a tribute to H.P. Lovecraft. So that the only story I've ever read from Lovecraft was the one about the walls, the rats in the walls. So that might have been all of that. Yeah. So But I'm thinking he's describing that monster. There's a monster that Lovecraft invented. I can't think of what it was called though.
Cthulhu? Well, he had a whole bunch of monsters. Yeah, Cthulhu was kind of the head honcho of all of them. And then there was Nyarlathotep and Yog-Sothoth and a whole bunch of them. I read so darn many of those things that actually I started getting bored with them a little bit, But there's a whole he developed a whole subculture of the old ones, he calls them,
Okay, yeah, this is an excellent brevity, Dan. Thank you very much. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool because just the way it starts with the pitch of night, and then the nails clawing on the sideboard. You can actually picture that. You could hear it if you sit with the words. It's like what you said with the rats in the wall. Mm-hmm. It reminds, because I remember hearing that one back in May about the rats in the wall, and that was the first time I actually heard anything by H.P. Lovecraft, actually. So this definitely reminds me of that with this fright. And, yeah, I've never actually smelled the stench of death. And I hope to never win.
In our first house we lived in, we had that one bush that we called the dead body bush.
That doesn't count.
Because the flowers smelled like rotting flesh.
I know, but that doesn't count because it's just a putrid plant.
Oh, God.
It had a horrible smell, but not like death of a body. This is an awesome right, Dan. Thank you for sharing.
What do you think, Scotty?
I thought it was a great piece. I thought it was a great piece. I really, really love the stench of death wafts under the door cleft. That slant rhyme with the death and the cleft was really was really clever, and the use of the cleft instead of an opening, I thought was really well done. And then the skin drenched and numbing sweat, I angle towards the window. Just those little bits of detail really make this brevity stand out. A feeble attempt. I mean, there's some really good language, apparitions, silhouetted scowls. When you have a brevity, you gotta come with those words that are really above par, because you only have so many words to play with in a brevity. So really, really well done.
Yes, I definitely agree. And I really appreciate the memory of that dead body bush coming back too. That thing was horrible. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
It was rancid and smell. It was.
I don't know why I never chopped it down.
No, it had beautiful blooms.
It did have really pretty flowers. It just smelled like rotting meat.
Yeah.
I guess it attracted the bugs.
Yeah. I guess it had a purpose. Oh my gosh. Okay. I guess I'm going to address the next one.
All right. And Dave, even though you just read, how you feel like reading yours now?
Oh yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Oh, cool. War of the Worlds.
Yeah, I was just I just watched that one version of that Steven Spielberg did with Tom Cruise in it, and so it just kind of stuck with me about all the stuff that those guys left behind, and so I wrote a poem about that, and it's called MMXIM. That's Roman numeral for 2019, and then so it equals 2.019 times 10 to the third. That's scientific notation for 2019. So anyway, you know me. Anyway, it goes like this. They came a decade ago, tripod machines below our busy feet. Prime number 3 fleet from a trinary star system shines in savage wisdom. Three's a twisted sister rolls over the universal lister. Defeated by our own lowly pathogens in spite of their careful stratagems, brought them to their knees from your simple sneeze, left behind all their junk, technological smiling hunks, just waiting to be disassembled, not exactly in the sentimental. We took them apart, back to the very start, took lots of notes, such historic anecdotes, backward engineering or interstellar buccaneering, because you left it here. Your science now quite clear. You turned your turn to fear because you're back here. We turned it loose on you, this horse of a different hue. You left more junk behind, second time losers blind. We'll use that too, 3 times losers chew on your defeat one more time. Your 3-syllable stanzas don't rhyme. The curtain call of your genocide extravaganzas. End poem.
Oh yeah, I like this. This is freaking cool. First off, I've read the book and seen. Actually, I've seen all 3 versions of the movie. I think there's 3 of them. There's one, the original black and white, and then there was one with C. Thomas Howell, and then the one with Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. And I like them all. But I always liked the fact that it was like just the common cold that killed them off and beat them. That just was always so fascinating to me that he came up with that, something like that, you know.
Yeah.
H.G. Wells, right? H.G. Wells, I believe, yeah. But then I like how you brought in all this stuff, you know, that I'm always on the fence. I believe that I definitely know that we're not alone. The universe is too big for us to be alone. There's others out there. And I tend to kind of lean towards the point that, we probably had visitors here, and the government kind of keeps it a little, quiet. But it does seem like that Roswell thing, and that's what it made me think of, that whole Roswell thing, how all of a sudden technology started making jumps and leaps after that, like they maybe found something and took it apart and figured things out. And that's what that's all the imagery this brings to. This is awesome, Dave. This is just great.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you think? What did you think, hon?
Well, I won't be able to make a detailed comment like that because I know that this is the kind of stuff that you're into. But for some reason, when you were talking, it made me think back the Orson Welles radio broadcast.
Yeah, when he read it and scared everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, how people actually felt that this was actually happening.
Yeah.
That's all I kept thinking about while you guys were talking. But this is awesome all around. I have to agree with what Stephen says. I do believe that there is more out there in many senses of the word. I do believe that there is other life, like you said, but I also believe that when we pass away, there's other things too. There's more to what's out there. I honestly feel it's not just us humans. I do feel there's more out there. Yeah. This is an awesome right, Dave.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
What do you think, Sky?
I really liked it. So sci-fi is something that I very much enjoy watching. I would say I'm more future apocalyptic when it comes to reading, but sci-fi is definitely I don't think I've read a lot of too much sci-fi. I think it's more post-apocalyptic, but I really love the genre. And I think maybe if I started reading a little bit more, I could be able to branch out into writing because this is just brilliant. And I like to go in different directions in my writing, and I've never gone here. And I mean, this is just so when someone does something that I haven't done or that I can't do or that I haven't done yet, I feel such a respect for that because I'm not there yet. But I really liked the Defeated by your, that's not the one. I mean, I do like that too, but there was one part I really, here we go. Left behind all their junk technological smiling hunks just waiting to be disassembled. Not exactly in the sentimental. The way that you were able to hitch those rhymes, yet keep that type of language, I mean, it was just really, really well done, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Sky. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. Yeah, Sky, remind me. I'll link something to you that you might like. Them that I wrote.
What did you write?
Something that's kind of post-apocalyptic and also science fiction.
Oh, is it something older?
No, it's Desolate Earth.
Oh. It wasn't there.
You might like it, Sky.
I'm ready. It's a joke. I once wrote this Wally Wright that was like the machines were zombies. It was really weird. It had a post-apocalyptic vibe, but it was like a story. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the most sci-fi I've gotten.
My Desolate Earth is 55 parts. There's 55 poems to complete the whole story.
That you wrote?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm going to start sending me links.
Okay.
Yeah. You should ask Sky. Does she have anything she wants to share with us tonight?
Yes, Sky, did you bring anything to read?
I'm trying to find something.
Okay.
I haven't decided yet. I'm looking for something Halloween-y.
Cool. Well, while Sky is looking, we'll share something else.
Okay. Good golly gonzo.
Yeah.
Halloween haiku 2. I guess I'll read this from my buddy Gonzo. Diet of the dead. Corpse still need to watch figure. Brains, the other white meat. And poem.
God. Wow.
Yeah. So what do you think of it?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. There was a spoof about zombie movies, and I cannot think of the name of it. And I think No, I think Sky
Pride
might.
and Prejudice,
I'm not sure.
Zombies. Pride and Prejudice, Zombies.
No. This is
That's not
older.
really
This is
cool.
like back in
I really love that.
this is back in the 80s. But the zombies actually talked,
Yeah.
and as they were coming to you, they'd be going, brains, fresh
Are you
brains.
talking about Shaun of the Dead?
No, the zombies didn't talk in that one.
Oh.
I think it was like it was something off of Night of the Living Dead. They kind of spoofed on that. I can't remember what it was called though.
I am seriously brain farting because that doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah, well, me and my friends from high school used to love it, and we would make fun of it at school. I just can't think of what it was called now.
I think Night of the Living Dead was the first first zombie flick that ever made the airways and made it big. You know.
Yeah, well, that was a good movie.
It
That's
was.
for sure.
It was scary. Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
scary. I remember watching the first time I watched it. Scared the hell out of me. You know.
Yeah, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah, I know. You love to quote that line.
But it always makes me mad at the end. The one guy, he lives through it all, and they end up shooting him because they think he's a zombie.
Yeah, and then he's talking to one of the guys who's out there hunting him, and he says, "I just shoot those things in the head. They're dead. They're all messed up." He says.
Yeah.
They're all messed up. Yeah. You can say
Anyway,
that.
this is just a great Halloween haiku from Gonzo. Appreciate him bringing it. What did you think of it, hon?
Well, no, yeah, it is pretty cool. With you talking about Night of the Living Dead, it did suck because that guy, he made it all the way to the end just to be murdered. But yeah, you know, Gonzo, I didn't realize that even zombies had to watch their waistline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they naturally lose weight though as they rot.
Well, it's like this one is very.
Sort of lose their appetite, maybe. Or it's not doing them any good.
Yeah. What did you think of it, Dave?
I thought it was funny. You know, I especially like the middle line. Corpse still need to watch that figure. You know, I can't imagine a zombie with a pot gun. Oh, brains the other white meat. You know, I don't know. You know, like you said, they. Yeah.
Well, I can look it up.
I don't think that whatever they're I don't think the whatever they're eating is doing them much good.
Yeah.
Probably lost their appetite. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. On The Walking Dead, they sure don't seem to lose their appetite.
Mm-mm.
What did you think, Sky?
I thought it was brilliant. You know, I don't know if you've ever known somebody who's been on a diet for a long period of time, but you see that face?
Yeah.
I think
That's about it, huh?
You're right, Sky.
I just love I just loved how he paired that with Diet of the Dead. You know, I'm really impressed by people with little quips like that. I just think that is just, and it's brilliant. It's really, really well done, brevity.
Gonzo's definitely one with the little quips, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you made me think of something else funny, Sky.
What's that?
About the diet and that face.
Yeah.
Made me think of that Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley.
Oh.
When he's munching on, they're all dressed as women, and he's munching on French fries, and one lady says to him, "Should you be eating all that with your diet?" And he grabs her by the throat and says, "Lay off me, I'm starving."
Oh.
Is it Return of the Living Dead? Is that the one?
Oh, Dan on the board linked us. I believe it is.
Okay.
The one that you were referencing.
Yeah,
earlier?
brains, fresh brains. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 85. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
I've never seen that one though, so it's new to me.
We always thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. I never saw it, so I'll have to take your word. But yeah, with what I just want to, with what Sky said, I think damn near every woman, they look like that when they're dieting. Because I was a hardcore dieter in my 20s. And you remember that.
I remember.
So, yeah, I probably looked like that a time or two without realizing.
Not like that. I never seen you look like that. Not even in
Good
the morning.
answer, Stephen. You just keep that thing. Okay? Trust me, I know. That's what
I might look like that before my coffee.
You look a little worn in the morning. You do. But at least you're not like you used to be, because you used to be very pissy.
Yeah, I know. I used to punch the alarm clock when it woke me up.
Yeah. Well, I'll just take the salt and quiet you now. That's better.
I don't know. Sky, did you find something yet?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
All right.
Drop it in the room.
Well, I gotta post it. I gotta post it. I'm doing that right now, though. So I picked this one. It's not scary, but it's probably gonna be what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple of days with all this candy. So it's a children's right, so it's a little bit different. I know Kay's read a lot of my children's right, so maybe not different for her. But here we go. It's called Toothbrush Music, yeah. And it's from cool. 2014. Cotton candy, chewing gum, marshmallow cereal, a pile of sweets down to one. Bites of peppermint crush on a tile of your tea, chocolate-covered peanuts that are salty underneath. A pancake blizzard storming with sugary snow, powdered pixie sticks dipped in a swirling tornado. Gummy worms, a patch of sour treat, all the stuff you're told not to eat. Apple pie smiles dancing on your tongue, a pocket of sweets down to one.
Wow, I think I got some cavities just listening to that.
Toothache or two.
Oh, this is pretty cool though. I know which stanza Kay is going to comment on because I saw you mention her favorite candy in there. But I definitely like the chocolate covered peanuts and the apple pie. That's what I'm talking about. But this is great. This is just this is wonderful. It's such a sweet poem.
Thank you. I had to switch it up from all that dark poetry. I don't think I read much of the children's rights on here, so there you go.
I like that one that you read a couple months ago, I think it was, with the picking the nose one. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, the witch was it?
Oh, I was just for that time. Think about the haunted house story. That I'm gonna kiss you, I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna eat you. And then the whole time he's picking his nose. The kids love that story. It was just a story I told the kids, and then I wrote it into a poem.
Yeah, I can remember it actually. I remember it being a joke when I was a kid, where they kept hearing a voice in the house saying, "I got you where I want you, and now I'm going to eat you." And they end up finding this guy picking his nose, and he's talking to his boogers. What did you think? Sky's poem, huh?
Yeah, I love this. I love tart candy to begin with, and for certain holidays, Stephen and my son, they like to make sure that they buy my favorite candies because I love Sour Patch Kids and I love the gummy worms. For me, it's not a need, but it's more so a necessity for me. I feel when I go grocery shopping, so I have to have these things when I go grocery shopping. And I know because I have my own dental issues, but I have to have this every day, as Stephen knows. I'm just usually I unwind every night by just watching TV with a bag of gummy worms in my hand and a Pepsi on my nightstand, and I'm good.
Squared away, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So I love Starburst. I really love Starburst. I don't do that much
yeah.
sweet candy. Besides chocolate, I don't do much sugar candy. My teeth can't just take it, but it's like awful when I get Starburst because I just want to eat them, and then they're like my teeth are like aching at the end. I'm like, no.
I know. My teeth get that way after eating Skittles.
Yeah. I don't. My teeth don't get that way.
My teeth get that way after eating cereal because the sugar in cereal. That's how sensitive my teeth are. So Starbursts aren't good. Yeah.
My weakness is Edie's Butterfinger ice cream.
Yeah.
If I'm not watched while I'm eating that, I will eat the whole half-gallon container while I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, I'll be scraping the bottom with a spoon, wondering where the hell did it go.
I've done that.
What did you think of Sky's poem, Dave?
Oh, I loved it. My favorite stanza was the second one: bits of peppermint crush on the tile of your teeth, chocolate-covered peanuts that are salty underneath. I just love that sweet and salty combination. It's really is interesting to the tongue, you know. The whole thing just made me really got my sweet tooth meter pegged hard over to the right, you know. I know now tomorrow when I get on a grocery shopping, I'm going to have to pick up a whole bunch of candy. But I like this thing because it talks about the ramifications of eating too much stuff and you know, having your teeth kind of rebel against you. I love the title, Toothbrush Magic or Music. I'm sorry. That's really an excellent and clever title to this poem. This is really good, Sky. You did good on it. I liked it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually trained. Where if she sends me to the store, I always make sure I pick up a bag of gummy worms too.
I made myself sick of gummy worms one time, and I don't have much of a taste for them anymore.
I did that once with peach schnapps.
I did that once with what is that cinnamon that cinnamon drink? Something
Fireball?
hot. But no. I'm gonna think about it now. I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of the drink.
I know of a few cinnamon.
I don't know, but I couldn't eat cinnamon gum. I couldn't chew cinnamon gum for a while. Not good. Like really, I couldn't eat cinnamon gum for a while. My body was like, no.
Yeah, I understand
Red
that.
Bull?
Yeah.
Dan just asked if it was Red Bull.
Aftershock.
Aftershock.
Me and Aftershock had a disagreement.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I've never heard of it.
No, I haven't.
I don't either.
Must be local. But it's an energy drink?
No, this is an alcohol drink.
Oh, wow. I'll have to look it up. I thought
It
it
tastes like just like cinnamon chewing gum.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I might like that then.
Yeah, I will get you some.
It wasn't very good, but just go slow on it, Kay.
Well, I'm a lightweight. The last time I was drunk, I was 19, so it doesn't take much for me to start getting giggly.
Well, me neither. So, join the club.
Me neither anymore.
Joe said he liked cinnamon rice pudding. That sounds amazing.
That does sound good. Mm-hmm.
And then Becky said Red Bull and vodka is her drink of choice.
Yeah. Uppers and downers.
So they have a name for that. They have a name for the Red Bull and vodka, and I can't think of what it is. I never had it, but I know there's a name for it or something.
The only energy drink that was around when I was a kid was called Jolt Cola.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh my God.
That was a lot of sugar.
It was, yes.
The only one that I can remember as a kid, and that goes back a long ways, was Mountain Dew, and it was plumb full of caffeine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was before they were. That's before they were calling it an energy drink. They were just sneaking it in on the side for you, you know, getting people hooked on it. Mountain Dew addicts, you know, going cold turkey because they ran out of Mountain Dew. Make you grind your teeth and feel good, you know.
My god kids, Mountain Dew is like the holy grail to them because they're not. I don't let them have it, and I to their parents. So they go and they're like, "Can we have Mountain Dew?" No. So I think when they hit 18, they're gonna start to like just have tons of Mountain Dew just to spite us. I think maybe.
It's true, they will.
Well,
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, we weren't allowed to have pop at dinner or soda, depending on where you live, and now that's all I ever have with dinner because I'm allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was only allowed one glass of milk at dinner, and I could have drank the whole damn gallon if they'd have let me. I could really put milk away, and I only got one glass. So I drink lots of it nowadays.
Yeah, oh, I love milk. I
Another
didn't like it when I was a kid, but I do now.
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I didn't like au gratin potatoes when I was a kid either, and I love them now. So
Oh,
tastes
God, me
change
too.
again.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, you
I never
really
used
do.
to like
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hated
yeah,
spinach when I was a kid. Now I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
I
that goes
hated
for everything
spinach
too.
when I
Because
was
I
a
remember when I was, I think I was 10 when my dad took me to an Indians game,
Yeah.
and I had my first little sip of beer, and I thought it was the worst damn thing I had ever tasted in my life.
Yeah.
But now I look forward
Yeah.
to having my occasional beer.
Mm-hmm. I remember my dad put a can of great big tall can of Falstaff beer in the refrigerator, and it sat back there, and it sat back there for a long time. And I decided one day that I was just going to drink the damn thing because nobody was paying any attention to it anyway. And so I took it out and drank the whole thing, and I got drunk as a skunk. And off just that beer, of course, it was a big tall thing. Guy was probably, at least a pint, but I remember I ran over to the grade school and I ran to the sprinkler several times. Then I went home and my mother asked me why I was all wet, and I came up with some crazy damned explanation. She never did figure out that I was drunk. Nobody ever asked me about what happened to that can of Falstaff either, and I never said anything about it. Yeah.
Did you want to do some more poetry, hon?
Oh, yeah. I was going to drop Joseph next since he is on the board.
All right. Hello, Joseph.
Yeah. And, of course, Joseph would like you to read them.
Okay. As soon as my phone turns back on, there we go. All right. This is called My Favorite Pumpkin by Joseph Moon. From candy and dolls to cars and champagne, from clown costume to gowns and pearls, oh, so quickly they grow, Daddy's little girls. And poem. And look at that picture.
Yeah.
That's just sweet, Joseph, and it's so true. I mean, Kay and I didn't have any daughters, but our son definitely grew up fast, too fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a wonderful sentimental poem, Joseph. Beautiful. Is your daughter listening today too? What did you think, hon?
Yeah. It's a gorgeous picture of your daughter, Joseph. And, I will agree with what Stephen says because our children, they do grow up so fast. I remember when I had James thinking that these days will never end and they're going to last forever. And all of those days where, it had the stress to it, but then also the days that it had the beautiful moments to it. And, with the picture there of your daughter for Halloween, it makes me remember of all the Halloweens that we had, at the trick-or-treating and the school parties and, just all the little fun things that go with the holidays and making all those memories that last a lifetime. a beautiful right, Joseph, and the pictures are so gorgeous. Thank you for sharing a piece of your heart with us.
Yeah, what did you think, Dave?
Oh, it just took my heart. I mean, I always wanted a little girl, and I never got one. And she is so cute, sitting there holding that pumpkin on her lap, and that's a beautiful picture. The whole thing is just really wonderful. Really tugs at my heartstrings. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree. What did you think, Sky?
I just read something, reread something, because he read something a while ago about his daughter on the air, and I was behind in my commenting, so I had it in my queued list. So I just happened to read something yesterday too about his daughter, and it's so wonderful how you could bear your heart out, and it's wonderful for us because we get to share it with you. But I like the reflection of the gowns and pearls and the dolls to the champagne. I've got someone singing in the background. Sorry.
That's all right.
But I just thought it was so wonderfully sweet, Joseph, and really well done. I hope she gets to hear all these poems you do about her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Excellent comment. Excellent share, Joseph. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Our children, I just have to say, that when you have a child, they're a great big extension of you. No matter how old they are, they're always with you,
Yeah.
As our baby, he's an adult, but
22 years old.
Yeah, I still look at him as a child, and I probably always will. And I can't help myself when I go to his house. Cleaning up his house for him, looking through his cupboards, making sure that he has food, making sure that he's taking care of himself. You just can't. That just doesn't switch off. Your children, they definitely are your babies.
Yeah.
And this was beautiful, right, Joseph?
Cool. Oh, look at that. Sky put a picture on the board.
I'm running to look. Oh,
that is cute.
You know what she said to me? She goes, Auntie, I'm buckling her in the car. We can't drive. Unicorns fly. I said, well, I can't fly, so I can't help you out. She goes, they fart out rainbows and they fly on them. I'm like, unless you can do that when driving.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That would be something.
The things kids say.
I know. The thing, children are very imaginative with the things they can think of.
Yeah.
Sometimes
true.
they're more imaginative than us adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, are you putting me in next?
Why not?
Okay.
And then what's the Halloween-ish thing?
Yeah, let me clear my throat. Muting. I'm back.
Joseph said smelly rainbows.
All right, this would be classified as a Tylenol PM write. I just usually I write and then I find a picture. This one, I saw this picture and this is what it inspired. And I call it Frantic Search. Running through the rain at night, I don't know where I am. Figure keeps appearing in front of me, holding out his hand. I can't remember anything aside from the accident. My girlfriend was with me in the car. I don't know where she went. I have to know if she's okay. My brain is simply frantic. We were heading out for a dinner date. Should have been so romantic. But here I am, I'm so alone. The storm does mask my sight. This thing again in front of me. It's causing quite a fright. Zigging and zagging through the drops. What the hell is going on? In a dead-end alley it appears again. And now I have nowhere to run. It tells me not to worry. And that my girlfriend's fine. I shake and fall down to my knees, and then I start to cry. I'm just a teen, too young to die. With my hands, I cover my head. It laughs and says, I can't hurt you, for you're already dead. End poem.
Well, that's pretty cool. I know this was one of the contests that you entered of Ina's, and yeah, the true reality, death, it technically is always there, and the story that you wove into words, it still just kind of leaves me speechless because I don't know what to say, because it's a great story that you told about death always being there. I don't know what more to say. Except that's great.
That's enough.
That's enough, okay.
Thanks.
What did you think, Dave?
Oh, I like this. This was really scary. Nice twist on the end of it, where he says, it laughs and says, "I can't hurt you, for you're already dead." That'd be a hell of a revelation to discover that you were dead when you didn't even realize that you were.
Yeah.
This is it's a good storytelling here, Stephen, and I don't good rhyme and meter and everything. It's really really well done. I liked it.
Thanks, Dave.
Mhm.
Well, what do you think, Sky?
I thought this was such a good story, zigzagging through the drops. I just really loved the image of that. What the hell is going on? The questions and put in there, and the type of where it's actually voice quotes, I think really gives to a right. It not only pulls into the reader, but it gives character and characters to the right. So I really liked how you did that. It was really, it's a story that holds you with its detail. And I have to say, the ending for me too was a really great part because like everyone said that. Well, I don't remember. I always said I loved your twists. So
yes.
This is one of those twists. Yeah. So I just thought it was a wonderful dark right, and I have to say I did get a little. I got a little, my heart was sunk a little bit with the teen "I'm too young to die" part, because through the dark and scary Halloween rite, it's a story about a teenager swerving off the road, really, and from what I saw towards the end, and it got me kind of sad. So really, really well done to be able to manipulate your reader's emotions.
Oh, thanks, Guy.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to make you sad, though.
Sky said what I wanted to, so there you go.
Okay.
So everything I just said times 2.
There you go.
You can just be like, ditto.
Yeah, ditto. Because we have like-minded brains. Let me see here. Let me grab this real quick because Dan shared something else, and we might as well reciprocate. And see, it's here on the board.
All right.
I'm grabbing that. Okay. And I guess we can have Dave read it. Okay.
Dave, would you like to read another one of Dan's poems?
Sure. This one called "Comes Knocking." Hello?
Yep. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I lost one of my windows here, so I wanted to make sure I was on the right page anyway. Okay, this one's called "Comes Knocking." Hello again, my friend. What a complete surprise to see you so soon. Please come inside and sit with me. How long has it been since your last visit? I can dim the lights for comfort, to see you better in the shadows, and to embrace your size. I know you've passed my door recently to hear the gentle scraping of wind, whispering softly my name. You've come for me then, tonight of all nights, plans all for naught, I guess. maybe it's just as well. The last time was in a dream, a darkened tunnel in monochromatic blue. You were greeting me there, but I could not hear your words. I could not understand the meaning, but now it seems crystal clear. You were foretelling me a message of this night. I just did not want to face it, or you. Are you ready then to discuss terms? Do I have leeway in this matter? Make a call before we leave? I was hoping more time could be served in a suitable circumstance, but I know there will be no barter for your cause. I guess it's just as well then. I guess it's time to go. End poem.
Excellent read. I see why he dropped this, because we're talking about death being at your door. And yeah, I like the, I know it's a one-sided conversation with death. Because, death doesn't really talk to you, does he? He just kind of nods his head. Or like, I always think of, my image of death is I go to the third ghost in A Christmas Carol. He never talks. He just points or nods. That's it. So that's what I'm seeing here is seeing that figure nodding with every sentence. Yep, it's time to go. This is excellent. Well written. Very dark. Very awesome. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I think it does fit well with your right that you had shared, because he's talking about it's time to go. Nobody usually knows when their time is going to come, and sometimes it comes way too soon. But yeah, talking about I was hoping more time could be served in a suitable circumstance, but I know there will be no barter for your cause. So I guess it's just as well then. I guess it's time to go. That sums it up, because, technically that can be a metaphor to life as well, not just death. Sometimes it's just time to walk away as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Excellent, right?
Yep. What'd you think, Dave? You read it?
Yeah, I liked it. It's real spooky, cold. It's it just, you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said that it's a one-way conversation, because it really is. We can't stop this process no matter how hard we want to. If we have an animal that's passing, there's nothing we can do about it. It's one of the I look at it a little differently than a lot of people. It's one of the things that makes the universe function the way it does, is death, and it's interrelated. I have a really abstract way of looking at this, but I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I thought he addressed this whole thing really well, and I like the way it was written. It was really kept my focus, and that good storytelling all the way around, and good descriptions. It was a good poem.
Cool, excellent comment. What'd you think, Sky?
Yeah, I really liked the tone. I really liked the storytelling as well, but I liked the language and the details. In dark and tunneled in monochrome blue, you were greeting me there, but I could not hear your words. I could not understand the meaning. I really like there's a bit of a vulnerability in the right in itself, and the darkness of it, and in the way that it's written from the first person speaker to ultimately, really, like everyone said, one-sided. But was it really, just because there was no answer? And I really like that about it. I like the vibe. I enjoyed it very much.
Cool. Excellent comment. Yes, definitely great work. Great write, Dan.
Yeah. It's definitely, because I see it as having a metaphor to life itself, with life, death. It's an excellent write. It really is. Yeah. What you laughing about?
Wayne.
Oh. Oh, yeah, on the floor. Okay, I will drop mine down a second.
All right. How many more we got?
Hold on.
Okay. Here, typing away.
Yeah, sorry. I'm running.
She types so much faster than me. She texts faster than me too.
You have to be.
And with fewer errors.
Everybody texts faster than me, Stephen. I'm the world's worst texter, and I admit it. I can type pretty good on the keyboard, but boy, I can't handle these membrane keyboards and touch keyboards and stuff. They just don't fly for me.
Yeah, it can be tricky, but when you have to learn to multitask, you have to learn to do it fast and do it well. I've had to do that a lot.
Wayne's here?
Yes, Wayne's here.
Wayne is here.
Wayne.
Hello, Wayne.
Well, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Wayne.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Happy Halloween.
Had a bunch of tricksters out there tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of ghosts and goblins running around.
We just deal with one ghost.
We do have a ghost?
Well, we always say my dad's always here.
Oh, yeah. That's true. But yeah.
But he's a
That's
friendly
not a bad
ghost.
thing,
He's a friendly ghost.
Yeah. Yes. Just, excuse me, Wayne has to read and run.
Do you need to read and run, Wayne?
I got all the lights turned off. I don't think I'm going to have anybody else except the locals come running in the door when they get back, but I think all the trick-or-treaters are gone. So I'm pretty free right now.
I think they're done here, too. About 10 minutes ago it was supposed to end.
Oh, yeah. Halloween was 6 to 8 here.
Yeah, we was 5 to 7 here, so
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. All right, then I might as well drop yours down.
Yeah, well, he's the next in line.
Yes, sir.
There you go, Wayne.
all right. Yeah, this is an older poem I wrote a couple of years ago. I kind of enjoyed it. And I entered into a contest, and they said it was two R-rated, 2 X-rated for the contest. So I decided I wanted to read it anyway. So I got it for tonight. It's called The Slow Walk. Poor chap walking sadly down the dusty trail. Head hung low, spirits too. Got up after he fell. On his horse, left town 4 hours ago. Leather saddle, 6-shooter, rode off slow. 6'3", broad shoulders, every cavalry's dream. Rode the ranch, meet his girl, getting lucky it seemed. Off his horse, tied it up, walked in tall, heard him talking, moaning down the hall. Peeked in door, eyes open wide, face turned red, drinking whiskey, 2 hard hands, all naked in bed. She laughed, he cursed, fought men, lost. Took his saddle, gun, girl, pride was the cost. Left one feeling small, looked like hell. Poor chap walking slowly down the dusty trail. End.
Wow. That is a bad day.
That is the definition of a bad day.
It's a bad day.
Hey, cool. This is the first time I think I've ever read a Western poem. I like it. I don't think that's him in the picture, though.
Yeah, the picture was the picture prompt for the contest. That's what I wrote the picture prompt.
He took him in a different direction, that's for sure. This is great.
he was real small when they got through with him.
Hey, yeah, I'll say.
Oh my, this is great. I like this a lot. She laughed, he cursed, fought men, lost, took his saddle, gun, girl, pride was the cost. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, feeling small. It looked like hell. This is great. What you think, hon?
Yeah. This is a humorous, right? But it's also cool in its own way because in its own way, it is realistic, as I know that, through humor, a lot of people could relate to it as well. But yeah, the lines that Stephen quoted, yeah, that's pretty funny as well, because that would make for a hell of a bad night to walk into that and then to just walk away with nothing in the end.
Yeah.
And you said this was your first FPP, so that's pretty cool in itself, too.
Oh, wow. Congrats on that.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, I think, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 2 years. You had a bad day, I'd say, in your author's notes.
Yeah, just a little.
What did you think of it, Dave?
Oh, I thought it was priceless. Yeah, it was really cool. I like the idea that it was set in Western terms. I've done quite a bit of this stuff myself, and cowboy talk and vernacular and character development, stuff like that. It's really fun. I like the storyline on this. I like the way it went from just, talking about the person early on and then what happened to him in the end, But I'll have to say that even though he feels pretty bad now, he's better off at least knowing what's going on than not knowing. So he's actually better off, and he doesn't realize it yet, but he will someday.
Yeah.
I've been in his position before, so
It'd be rough opening the door up and see two people in bed with your wife drinking whiskey. It'd be an experience.
Yeah. But I've actually been there myself too, where I don't know how much of the story I want to share, but it was a woman I was dating long before I met Kay, and I worked third shift at the time, and it turned out that she had somebody that she saw while I was at work, and she saw me during the day. Yeah. And there was one time where I wasn't supposed to come over, but I figured I'd surprise her, and she kept looking at her watch, and I kept wondering, what are you in a hurry? What's going on?
Right, you got the door.
Yeah. And then he showed up.
Yeah,
that wasn't a fun day at all.
No.
What do you think of the poem, Sky?
I thought it was great. I thought, again, great storytelling. We got a lot of great storytelling tonight. I don't see much Western either, but it's really, really good. I liked the part where he comes in with all this pride, and then it's a bit of a shock, and then he loses that a little bit. And I really liked the images and how you describe that in your fun language, as always. The short lines really give to your. I know he's laughing because I'm always like, I love when you read so fast, but I'm a fast talker, so when people
really,
yeah, this is slow, so I really try to be a little bit slow. I really am a fast talker. So when I hear Wayne read, but it's not just the fast talking; it's the accent too. But these lines complement that so well because you could just hear it. Road to the ranch, meet his girl, getting lucky scene. The way that you set up the format and the way that you had those short lines creates a swiftness of the story, and I really, really liked that because it's, even no matter what the length is, you're kind of like, what is it over already? Because it just goes so finely. So really well done.
Well, thank you. And you sound perfectly normal to me.
Yeah. I used to talk a lot faster when I was a kid, and I got a lot of classes how to learn to slow down.
I tried it. I've been trying 40 years to slow down.
I never had that problem. I was running along in low gear most of the time,
Hey, somebody just walked in. It looks like Crystal's here.
Oh, Crystal.
Oh, cool.
Hello.
Hey, Crystal.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy Halloween.
And it hasn't been really Halloweeny, but okay.
Yeah. Well, Halloween isn't the same once you don't get to trick or treat anymore.
Yeah.
I try, but they tell me I'm too old.
Masquerading as an adult.
Yeah, I got stilts on.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Crystal, did you need to read and run?
No, I'm good for the rest of the time.
Cool.
Well, I'm going to drop there for a second.
Okay, and who does he want to read that one? You, okay.
And since Joseph is still on the board, I wanted to share his second one that he shared. And this is by Joseph Moon, and it's called Ghostly Grimaces in the Half Darkness. In the half darkness, shadows sing to each other. From the debris of dying stars, a rain of faces. A father, a mother, a sister, a wife or brother. They look so cold and gloomy, wearing white grimaces. Yet I ink adventurous and beg for another day. It may not seem so grave an act to write. I'll pen no words that smooth-faced wooers say, crying into life's deep stream of sorrow and delight. All solemn voices of the night, their tune, their time here is past, leaving pleasure and pain. Feeling, hearing, with black, wet ash, I write of times that will not come again. End poem.
What did you think of it?
Oh, yeah, it's an excellent write because it does speak of our loved ones who have left. And, I say this a lot to Joseph because of the fact that the memories that we have created with our loved ones, they always stay with us. And depending on the day, it will either give a smile or it will tear at the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of run the day there with how you feel. Yeah. But this is wonderful all around, Joseph, because love, technically, even though it is not here with us, it never dies either because we keep it alive within us with the memories that we have and the love that we carry.
Yes. Agreed. That's what I was seeing, too. But then you said something that automatically triggers my movie buff brain when you said leaving pleasure and pain.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. The things we have to show you. I think Pinhead automatically when I see pleasure and pain put together. I think Hellraiser and Pinhead. Sorry, Joseph. Yep. I have to say sorry, Joseph, but that's just the way my brain works.
I know.
So this is a wonderful dark humor. Yes. Yes, always. But the loved ones that have gone before us are always in our minds, and they always come back. And like Case said, sometimes happily and sometimes not so happy. Mm-hmm. And it's always been my experience that the bad memories seem to come easier than the happy ones for some reason. Our therapist told us because stronger emotions are attached to the sadder memories, and that's why they're more easier to recall, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, this is an excellent write as always, Joseph. Crystal, what did you think? You haven't commented on anything yet today.
No, that's because I just came in. Unless I was haunting in the background the entire time. No, I thought that this was just really brilliant and also very dark. And I think it fits very well for today being Halloween because it's also kind of spooky talking about spirits and talking about spirits of the dead and things like that. But I also thought it was just excellently written.
Cool. And Wayne, what did you think?
I think I like the poem. It's a pretty good poem. I like the way the first stanza ends when he went a father, mother, a sister, a brother, a wife or brother. They look so cold and gloomy wearing the white grimaces. And then he starts the second stanza out, puts himself kind of in a realistic place. He goes, yet I ink adventures and beg for another day. It's kind of like he put himself where he kind of comes to reality where what I do in this point is what these people are going through kind of type thing. And I like the poem a whole lot. It's a really good poem.
Cool. And Dave, what did you think? Nope. Go ahead, Wayne.
I said the second way he starts out, yet I link adventurous and beg for another day. Like as if he's like, he shouldn't be doing it, but that's what he does. He does. And I just like the way he said that. It's perfect.
Cool. And what did you think, Dave?
Well, I kind of like the last stanza on this, all solemn voices of the night. Their time here is past, leaving pleasure and pain. Feeling, hearing, with black flesh I write, of times that will not come again. That, that's what we recollect when we think about people and animals that have gone. We realize that we won't have any more time with them till we're all done. I like the first line there, all solemn voices of the night. It's really, that's such a, a real, puts us into a somber mental state, if the top two stanzas didn't do that already. Their time here is past, leaving pleasure and pain. I have to agree with you, Stephen. It seems like most of that is pain. People say, well, time heals that. It does not heal that. It just dims the pain, the twinge of it just a little bit. It doesn't heal anything. We never heal from anything like that. I don't think, at least I don't. But this is really well done. I really like the way Joseph writes. He's always got a certain amount of class and good storytelling about his poetry, and he's a really good poet, I think. I like this poem very much.
Yeah, me too. Sky, what did you think?
I don't know if I can follow up that comment. This was really, really great. I really loved In the Half Darkness. I really love that opening. I really love that phrase. I really loved how he put, from the debris of dying stars, a rain of faces. The way that he phrases that, it's just poetically beautiful, truly is, and how he incorporates all loved ones, the wife, brother, sister, mother, father. And then, they look so cold and gloomy wearing their white grimaces. And so when you follow up, when you put that connection of loved ones and then you follow it up with a darker image of white and gloomy faces, you have your heart is a bit more receiving and a little bit more sympathetic than when you would just describe those grimacing faces, and I think that's what made this more personal, with a touch of personal piece. Really well done.
Excellent
And
comment.
poem.
And comment.
And comment, not end poem. I don't know what's going on. Too much sugar.
Too much sugar. Throw me a Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
Crystal, did you want to read?
Yeah, that's nice.
Crystal?
Unless you hit the mute button.
Are you muted?
I'm muted. I'm sorry. My mom was talking
That's
to
all
me.
right.
Yeah, I can go ahead and read.
Okay, you're up.
Okay. This is called Daydreamer. Trees of many colors, from burnt orange to gold, so many words to be written, so many stories to be told. She drove past all these, mind already writing poems, gazing at the hues and winds just a-blowin'. She lives in a world of words rather than in reality. The world may be a bad place, but she sees the beauty. End poem.
Awesome. Yes. But yeah, it's perfect for this time of year too, because obviously you're driving in the fall. But yeah, I know that last stanza really kind of drives it home. She lives in a world of words rather than in reality. The world may be a bad place, but she sees the beauty. And I think that kind of describes, anybody who writes poetry, because we do all write dark too, but we tend to see more in things than other people would. Not meaning that to be an insult to other people, but I think that we see more. We kind of open our eyes to everything more, and that's what I'm seeing in this poem. Excellent brevity, Crystal. Thank you for bringing this.
You're welcome.
What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I have to agree with the last stanza about living in a world of words rather than in reality, because the world can be a bad place, but also seeing the beauty. Sometimes it's hard to be able to do that, but when you can, it shows that one has an open mind and they could see more than what others have trouble seeing. It's beautiful, right?
Thank you, Kay.
What do you think, Dave?
Oh, this reminds me an awful lot of one that I just wrote a while back. And it just really describes the season really well. I like the very first line, trees of many colors from burnt orange to gold. I have I have 3 maple trees out in my yard, and right now they're kind of a pumpkin orange out there. My little red one's all done. He's got rid of all his leaves, but so many words to be written, so many stories to be told. Halloween seems to be a time of storytelling and, haunted stories, spooky stuff. Just, I don't know. It's really one of my favorite It is my favorite holiday, actually. And I like this last one here. It says, she lives in a world of words rather than in reality. The world may be a bad place, but she sees the beauty. Really, really, just a very unique write, and really a well-worded and constructed poem. I like this a lot, Crystal. You did good on it.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
And let's get a comment from Sky.
Yeah, I really like this. I think I see myself in it a lot, actually. And because I often, it's probably terrible, but I always think of write when I'm driving. Maybe it's because of the solitude of the car, or because you're just focused on the road, and your mind is just kind of just focused on one thing rather than the many things. Or maybe it's because nobody else is around you when you're driving. But I often find that I'm writing in my head when I'm driving, and having that bit of a dreamer rather than living in the reality of the world, because sometimes it's not always what we want it to be, and sometimes living in those words and it's a little bit easier at times, and in a way that it's an escape, and it's a good thing. I guess not for long periods of time, but definitely I think people have hobbies that they do to get their mind off of the world. It might be painting or music, putting on music and delving into somebody else's words. And as writers, we have our own to delve into. And sometimes that could be healing. But really well done.
Thank you. When I wrote it, I wasn't driving the car. I was just in the back seat. But I was looking at all the trees and everything like that. And at the time, I was still with my ex, and I could not stand his mother because his mother was constantly getting on to me about everything, saying I didn't pay attention to squat. And the whole time I was just trying to pay attention to her, but I was I couldn't help it. I was looking at the moon and looking at all attached to that, and that's how I spent the week, and it drove everybody insane. And they kept telling me, oh no, you need to be paying attention to reality. And I was I don't want to pay attention to reality. I'd rather pay attention to this.
But in a way, you are paying attention to reality because you're looking beyond the car. You're looking outside of the car, the trees, and you're looking at nature, and you're looking at some things that I think some people miss. They might miss a chain link fence that falls a certain way in the shade, and just because you're paying attention to that detail doesn't mean you're detached from the world. You're just attached in a different way, in my opinion.
Oh, most people don't see it that way. You guys do because you're writers too, but most people don't. So.
It's true.
Mhm.
Well, I'll defend you.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
Yeah. I dropped a second, so I will get that for you.
I'm not reading a second until Kay puts hers in. Oh, no.
Oh, I'll get to it.
She said no. She said no.
I'm not reading in a second until Kay puts her. I'm not reading that until Kay puts hers in. I'm getting ready.
Ultimatum. Put yours in.
Well, now I gotta go to the copy folder. So I closed my tab.
I know. I saw you. I watched you do it, and I frowned when you did it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I grimaced.
Oh, that's right. I got my face. No, you didn't. I'm just so used to not reading in my shows, so I just
Yeah, I know, and I'm going on reading strike.
I tell my friends, if you want to read me, you have to go to my page. Because I don't really do a lot of reading lists either. Okay. Sorry.
It's all right. You're going to read about my buddy.
Yeah, I actually dropped this in a few shows and took it out, so third time the charm. This is called Coming Home. Sadness that clutches, unknown to her. Halloween is coming. Lori believes someone is watching her. In the season of the witch, everyone looks crooked. Eyes of a stalker watching through the shadows. Dead eyes that were the blackest of black, portal to damnation through the devil's eyes, working on dragging me into a secluded dark hole. Visions of madness on this autumn day, fading into night of eternal sleep. Can you hear the footsteps? Visions of dark intentions on this lost soul. Shake one to the core if you could read the madman's mind. His intentions are of great harm. Sexual promiscuity, drugs, rock and roll, immortality of youth, your sentences slightly given with swift pain. Were you a vision or were you real? I swear someone is following me. Sweet Lori, misogyny and sadistic world unknown to her. A madman in the shadows only knows of pain. Confused anger lashes out. After tonight's survival of another day, becoming the constant cat and mouse. You see, we're all afraid of the dark within. Some deny it exists, while others let it creep out, waiting to become a dark horse, passing judgment. End poem.
Yes, wow. Well, I know that this was for our Michael Myers show that we did. And yeah, you did a really good job describing that, but I think my favorite part is where you talk about how we're all afraid of the dark within. Some deny it, while others let it creep out. We know both types of people.
Yeah, in the family.
Yeah, but this is really cool. Excellent, right, hon?
Thank you.
And what did you think about it, Dave?
Oh, well, Michael Myers is one of he gets several green stars from Dave Prophet for being a scary SOB. I remember the first Halloween movie I saw. I thought, God, this guy is really a creepy dude, you know. And then having Donald Pleasance go on and on about him. I thought Kay did a really good job of rounding up all of that, all of his things that make him scary in this poem, and things that kind of go bump in the night and that sort of thing. You know, the madman in the shadows only knows of pain, confused anger lashes out after tonight's survival of another day. We never really get to the point. We sort of get a half-baked idea of what's the matter with my co-buyers to begin with, but that's about as far as it goes. And I like the way Kay put this together. She sort of, brought that back again. A lot of little innuendos in this poem that resurrect this movie all over again in my memory. I think you did a really good job on this, Kay. It's excellent.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. And what did you think, Sky?
Well, I was just telling Kay that she knows I like it because I picked it for Poem of the Week.
Yeah.
But I think, yes, this was just a really, really wonderful poem. I loved, I wrote in the comments, I loved how you mentioned sex in rock and roll because, those are such a, in the movies, the minute you do that, you know that they're going to die. So
Yep.
I wrote in the comments that it was a pivotal part of the moral in the movies. Some those movies have a bit of a moral of you're gonna do this, you're gonna go down a wrong path, truly. So and I loved how you had Lori in there, and this is just so well detailed and story like true to the tone, and I really liked where is this one? This is and sadistic world unknown to her, the madman in the shadows only knows of pain, confused anger lashes out after tonight's survival of another day. You kind of go through, it is scary and it is sinister, but you get kind of into the emotional part at the end, just with the confused anger lashes out, and not knowing how to deal with that anger. So I like how you kind of get into the psyche a little bit at the end. Really well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking, Sky? Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees could run a family planning office.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I think they're going to have to go to a few counseling sessions themselves, master it, and then maybe, and yeah. There'll be some good candidates.
Yeah. Crystal, what did you think of Kay's poem?
I also agree with I like the ending. I'm talking about some people like just completely live in darkness, and then some people just try and hide it. The part I think that creeped me out the most, and I don't know if anybody heard me sit there and like freak out a little bit, is can you hear the footsteps? I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I thought this was just an excellent and dark piece, and I thought like most of Kay's poetry is awesome, but I thought this one was even more awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I've got 4 rights left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop Justin's down, Beard, and then I have one from Jaskaran, and then I have a second from Sky and Dave that I'm going to honor. And
Okay.
I'm going to do it in that order.
Does that sound all right? Everybody?
Yeah, fine with me.
We're all on mute. Sounds great.
Okay.
Live long and prosper, Joseph. He just said Kirk out.
Okay, does Crystal want to read Justin?
Crystal, would you like to read Justin's poem?
I can try.
Oh.
Let me get back to the room. Okay. Okay. So by September, is that supposed to be separated?
I think
What I
so.
was wondering. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, separated myself by Diabolical Beard. Something missing. Prison of self. Open wounds. Animals start licking. Regarding the losses, let's research of casuality written. By September, I separated myself in two divisions. Thoughts of an amoha. Expect a collision. Move the tread. God, I cannot read today. I'm going to skip. Can y'all have somebody else read?
Sure.
Sure. Sky, would you want to read it?
I guess kept messing up.
That's all right.
By September, I separated myself. Something missing. Prison of self. Open wound animals start licking. Regarding the losses, let's research the casualty written. By September, I separated myself in two divisions. Thoughts are like a omaha, expected a collision. Make the trebet in position. Send me away each day into siege. I need more immunization. Left in pieces like exploded grenade. Life is a high interest of a unpaid loan. Signature sign. The submitted Rochier. The catapult that canceled my parade. No one intended, so symptoms invade. Committee of the dark phase. Theater of failure. The purge that is never delayed. End poem.
Glad I wasn't alone on words.
I'm going to Google some of those words.
Mhm.
Yeah. I read his author's notes after I made the comment on his poem that I wrote, but I still think, I don't know, so many of Beard's rights, and maybe it's because, and Kay and I both know that we've been diagnosed with, we're functional depressives, is what we are. And but a lot of his rights just scream depression at me. Mm-hmm. And right from the start, this one does, with the something missing, prison of self, because boy, does it feel like that. Open wound, animals start licking. This is just, each day is a siege. I need more ammunition. This is just, it just screams it to me. And his imagery in this is just phenomenal. What did you think, hon?
Yeah, I have to agree, because when he starts out with prison of self, and then talking about throughout how he feels and then self-sabotage, we've all been there, and sometimes we struggle with it our whole life. And depression, it's not an easy thing to work through, as well as other things that one struggles with. And I think sometimes the worst thing is because through life, I've definitely struggled with depression. But then 8 years ago, something just died inside of me. I can honestly say that, because I'm more disconnected, more hardened, and more closed off. And that's not going to change. And the only thing that would change that is to go back to 8 years and not lose my son. So I can understand about the feelings that he writes, because, if anything, I go about every day being numb. And I think sometimes that's the worst thing, because you feel like crap, but you still don't feel. So it's this weird balance. And Justin's right. He definitely brings a lot of those emotions into play.
Mm-hmm. Sky, what did you think? You read it.
I loved it. I did. But I learned what trebuchet was. So I did say that wrong. But it's a machine used in medieval. Yeah. I looked it up so we can. That's how you say it. Yeah, the machine used in medieval siege warfare for hurling large stones. I know what that is, but I never knew the word. And I love when writers teach me new words, because I do love to. I don't know them all, but I do like to learn them. And when you put in, insert those missing pieces, that the right itself falls a little bit better together. But even without them, it's kind of like using, when you you can skip that word, you can still feel everything else. And I did feel a lot of depression, like Kay and Stephen had said in this. But and I think the pieces that were really strong to me in emotion were, by September I I separated myself in two divisions. Thoughts like Omaha expect a collision. So maybe he's out in Nebraska. I'm not sure, but I do understand that feeling of division and that dividing yourself. And then he goes on through, and now that we know what the trebuchet was, hurling, something into to a siege. So, to me, that's speaking of trying to, throw yourself out there, trying to bind yourself back together, and having that inability to do so. And then I think my favorite part was the last stanza, which was left in pieces like an exploded grenade. So instead of unifying himself or whatever he was trying to unify feelings, maybe this was personification of some inner angst. But instead of that happening, he's left in pieces, like a high interest of an unpaid loan, something so far in debt you're never going to get back. I mean, there was a lot of loss and emotion in this piece. Really well done.
Yeah, and I was going to say that too. Dan just said it on the board. I think with Omaha, I think he was talking about D-Day, Omaha Beach. So that would, keep in that theme of war. And Sweet Pea, I see you. Did you hear the poem?
I did.
What'd you think?
I think the imagery is so violent it implodes inward towards the spirit. It's very haunting and sad. But on top of that, I find the picture behind it to be kind of like oxymoron, because it is someone wielding a sword against battle towards this poem, I think. So you have these words, and they're so, like I said, they implode towards inwards. But then you have the man behind that wielding the sword to fight. So there's just something about the two that contrast to me. And I don't know why the vision and the poetry just struck me as like opposites, but they definitely do.
Cool. Dave, what did you think?
Excuse me. Yeah, I agree with what everybody else has said here, basically about this poem. It really speaks with a lot of, depression to me. I like this, the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th stanza, move the trebuchet position, send me away each day as a siege. I need more ammunition. It's that sort of says how he's feeling at the moment, and then I don't know. It's a really powerful poem. I always have to do reread his stuff 2 or 3 times before I get it. That's just me. It's nothing on his part. It's just me. I'm a little sick sometimes, but yeah, I like this a lot. I thought it was really well done and really well written. He's a good poet.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It took me a while to figure him out, but I think I got it now, and I enjoy his reading him a lot more than he used to. Just his imagery used to go just right over my head, and I'd be like, but now I kind of get him. Crystal, what did you think?
Yeah, I liked the right too. I love the beginning, like y'all were saying before, things like that. I kind of did see it also as a way of depression, because he was talking about his author's notes, like it's a war with society. And normally when you have a depression, you can't really like get on with the world all the time, and it's just very hard for you to be around people and things like that. So definitely from this you can tell that he's just really trying to, I guess it's a confusing thing, because he's saying about about another thing about abandonment. But at the same time, you want people, but then again, you don't. I think you just always want the right people, I suppose. But yeah, I think this is just an excellent write.
Cool, excellent comment. Who is up?
Well, first,
Do we want does Sweet Pea have something for us?
she does. But first, I want to make announcements because
Okay.
in 5 minutes, the studio is going to close out Dan.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who did call in and to the people on the board. The people who called in, Dave, Sky, Sweet Pea, Crystal, and Wayne. And then, of course, on the board, you've been there the whole time, Dan. And then Heavenly Angel was there, and Joseph Moon. And then also for the people that dropped down for tonight that we are in the process of finishing up with, Jeff Duran and Diabolical Beard and
Arbab.
And Arbab, yeah, his right was pretty epic.
It was.
Yeah, I'm looking in my folder to make sure I didn't forget anybody. It's important to remember. Did I say Crystal? Say thank you to Crystal?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You said you're a Heavenly Angel?
Yes, I did. My brain is short-term memory. Gonzo.
Gonzo.
Yeah, how can I
Gonzo
forget
had
him?
that other white meat type too.
Yeah. And yeah, before we get to the next one, we do have shows coming up. I'm thinking about doing one Saturday. If not Saturday, then Sunday. And then, of course, we have our shows already on the topic board, created for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm creating the topic for Thursday. So while I figure out Saturday and Sunday, did you want to give a shout-out as to what Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday is about?
Tuesday is going to be the debut of a new dark show called The Mortuary of Shadows. And we are going to focus on a very obscure horror movie from the early 90s called Happy Hell Night.
Yeah.
We have some quotes to write to in the board. We don't have the trailer because the trailer that they had was just too
graphic,
over the top for me to put on this site, I think. So you'll have to look it up if you want to see it.
Yeah.
But they also have it available to watch in its entirety on YouTube.
How about that?
I suggest watching it. It's very entertaining.
And then
and Wednesday we are doing J.R.R. Tolkien quotes.
Yeah. And the first one is, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And I would rather spend one lifetime with you than face all of the ages in this world alone.
That's my favorite.
I know. Even the smallest person can change the course of the future. And it is no bad thing to celebrate a simple life.
Cool.
Yeah, and then Thursday.
Thursday we're going to do music, Genesis. We're going to put some Genesis songs up to write to and play some music too.
If I get a chance. Because I'm old school. We're going to be listening to some 70s.
The old
80s.
Genesis.
Yeah, when they were awesome.
And
since Sweet Pea's here,
I was going to say, Sweet Pea, tell us about your show tonight.
My show is Halloween Spectacular. Bring your haunts, your twisted, and of course your treats. If you're all about Halloween trick or treats, I'm all about that too.
Hell yeah.
And then Crystal.
And Crystal, do you have a show coming up?
Yeah, I have one tomorrow over on La Cosa Nostra. It's going to be kind of open poetry, but I really would rather have it if people would write in funny writes. Anything that might be a little funny or even just like very funny or anything like that. Just any kind of humor writes you can put in there. I kind of want it to be like a night of laughs.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Is that all we got?
I believe so.
All right. And how many poems we got left?
We still have 4. I'm going to drop Jessica Rand down now.
Or does Sweet Pea need to read hers?
Actually, I need to read and run, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have to get ready for my Spooktacular.
Okay.
This is the one you linked me earlier.
Yeah, I just wanted Kay to read it first.
And before studio closes out, I just want to say good night, Dan.
Good night, Dan. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for listening in. Hope to see you at future shows. Take us away, sweet pea.
Yes.
Okay, so this is still vibrating. Orange goop slopped against the windowsill. Jack was shocked by the sound of how loud it hit. Smack, plop, plop, it went on and on again. Jack looked and wiggled his way to look inside. His stem shot out another 4 inches high. The flame inside his head grew hotter. A lovely squash was tickling her vines, having her way with a sweet potato gal and a cucumber guy. Jack's smile went wild. Jack must get his wick into this vegetable twistedness when a large eggplant grabbed him by his rock-hard stem. Jack started wishing he hadn't gone looking. Want to join? Jack smiled as dreams can come true. For pumpkins and princesses, he entered the crimson-lit room. A sweet potato shoved a vibrating tool up his backside. Eggplant giggled as cucumber cut off his stem and sliced and diced Jack's head. Now he is dead, and poor Jack still vibrating as squashes front porch. A Halloween pumpkin head. End of poem.
Yeah. Oh, I always like the way you read too, Sweet Pea, but this is just, yes, you said your first attempt at food porn, and this is food going at each other really good. And a little mutilation in the end. Poor guy thought he was in for a good time, and oh no. This is awesome. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I like how the ending actually goes when you talk about poor Jack still vibrating this squashes front porch, a Halloween pumpkin head. Yeah, this is excellent. Yeah, I know. We like those vibrators there, so I know. This is awesome.
What did you think, Dave?
Oh, well, first of all, Pat's got a very sexy voice for reading this sort of stuff, and she did a really good job on it. I wasn't a bit disappointed when she started in on it because I knew how it was going to go, but I didn't realize it was going to be quite like this. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really neat. It took some real thinking outside the box, you know. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that, you know, making cucumber and eggplant sexy and use them on poor Jack as a weapon, you know, poor guy, you know. Anyway, it was a great poem. I enjoyed it immensely. So, well done, Pamela.
Thank you.
And what did you think, Sky? Sky?
Probably muted again.
Yeah, I'm just doing 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, you know, she's still laughing.
There's lots of sugar over here. There's so much sugar. I hope she goes to bed sometime this year. Okay, so this is just all of a sudden really talkative. This was really, really great. I really, really loved. I gotta say, sweet. I was reading along with you, and then I was like, did she just say, am I following this right, or am I reading into this differently?
Yeah, I know, me too.
And you know, the other day, she was like, I always see Sky as innocent. Now I know why, because I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, no, she didn't. She didn't just say that. Oh, she did. Oh, she does mean it. Okay. Like, this is my whole... I'm having this full inner monologue as you're reading this, like, no. And you're just like, kind of like, I love people that can do that. I love people that can just, and it's not even like you're doing it for a shock value, because just when people just say a word, just because that word means something immediately, but you did it in such a stealthy way where you actually had to think about it, and you're like, wait a minute here, and you're like, what am I actually reading? But it's just clever and creative how you can turn those words with the eggplant and all that, and how you're changing it into a metaphor, but you're keeping a storyline and tying it all in together. I mean, this is a really great piece of work here. Really well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Scott, very much.
And comment. Crystal,
and
what did you think?
Comment.
Yes.
Yeah, I was also like, what in the world are we reading? And yeah, I didn't know what in the world, but I was like the parts that I was glad I was muted because I was laughing the parts, especially the sweet potato part. But yeah, I thought this was just such a good write, and I really loved it. So,
poor Crystal, I can hear her blushing as she's talking. I mean, I can just hear that.
A sweet potato, yes.
Yeah, only yeah. Most of you know what that's my other nickname, so that's why I thought it was so funny to put that in there. So.
But why would you do that to Jack?
Jack had it coming.
Yeah,
Should have been looking in the window.
That's true.
I think
big eyes. I think there's a moral in here. We don't mess with Sweet Pea. I think that's we're staying on her good side.
Don't go to dinner. Don't play board games.
Unless you put in the dungeon, then we'll have to misbehave.
Yes. Yeah.
No one's there with me. Okay, maybe I have some.
I get you can come play in my dungeon. You're okay. I'm good. Yeah, if you get a chance to see what I did with Alice, you'll all never want to go to Wonderland with me either. So. But hey, that's later. You guys have a great time with what you're doing, and I'll pop in as often as I can. Okay.
Appreciate that, Sweet Pea. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Care.
I got to get ready for my spooktacular. All right. Bye, guys.
Right. Happy Halloween.
Bye, Pam.
Bye. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
All right.
That would require a male reader.
All right. Would you like me to read it?
Sure.
I became a poet for your precious love by Jaskaran. I became a poet for your precious love. Never say bye-bye, love. You're always on my mind, always first, not at last. God is smiling from the clouds above. You are my girl. I love your hair with curl. You are more precious to me than a pearl. Wake up, little Susie. Let's go watch a movie. You are my world. I will always love you. Together we will face all hardships and sail the tide through. Someone's come to meet you. Daddy's home. Excuse me. Let's plan a family trip and head to Rome. Kiss me on my lips. Let your love flow. I will do anything to make your face glow. You are so vain. You make me forget pain. I love you, babe. I would love to see you in a red sari drape. You wake me with a cup of tea and a shining smile, and I wish back, here comes the sun. With you each day is full of joy and fun. End poem. I like this. I like how he mixed all these old song titles in here and made a heck of a love poem out of it. This is great. Wake up, little Susie. I mean, I had the songs popping into my head while I was reading this. This is awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Great write. What did you think, hon?
Yeah, I'm stupid because I read this morning and I didn't see it. And now that I look at that, I do see that. But yeah, no matter what the words, they are beautifully versed. And I do think that it is a love letter that would easily touch the heart of anyone it was intended for.
Yeah.
And the play on the song lyrics, as they are love songs as well, it's a beautiful write. Love all around.
Yes, indeed. And what did you think, Dave?
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the way woke the woke way he wove in the titles of the songs in there, and he did it in a way that it made sense. I just I never thought of doing anything like that. That's pretty cool. It's a neat poem. Really was. I like the storyline in it and everything. It was really well done.
And what did you think, Sky?
I agree. I love the entanglement of lines. It was wonderfully endearing. The "I love you, babe." It kind of, it reminded me that "I got you, babe." And "You are so vain," because I do know that song. It's great how people can intertwine so many different, pop culture lines, yet weave their own story and have their own lines interconnected in the same time. Really, really well done and wonderfully emotive.
Cool. And Crystal, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a really sweet poem. I like also what he did. I was beginning to wonder a few times. I was like, wait, are those songs? And then I recognized a few of them, and I was like, okay, yeah, those are songs. But, yeah, I thought that was just a really sweet poem and warms your heart when you read it. I think my favorite one is "Kiss me on my lips, let your love flow. I will do anything to make your face glow." To me, that's, I think, the sweetest lines out of the whole thing. End comment. I'm sorry, that's guys.
All right. Ready to put up Sky's second? Because Kay did read.
Yeah. Oh, we've got
That was the deal.
Yeah, we got Sky second and Dave second.
Thank you, Kay. All right. This is a little short one. On death. That's what it's called, On Death. If death has a name, I dare not ask what it may be, for surely he or she might answer, and I would cease to be. End poem.
Yeah.
Everybody
Cool.
was writing about death,
Good.
so I was like, I'll put that in.
This is cool brevity. Yeah, you don't want to know Death's name, because that would be the end. Yeah, you don't get to know his name until he's taking you up those stairs or down those stairs, depending on what kind of person you are. So yeah, this is really cool. I like this. What'd you think, hon?
Well, yeah. To ask would make one end up holding hands with death into eternal sleep. So don't ask.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Dave?
Oh yeah, I liked this a lot. I thought it was real interesting. I don't know. I kind of lost my place here. Forgive me for this. I'm dialing around on my tin can and string computer here. I lost a window I was on, so I better just shut up, I guess. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
That's all right. Crystal, what did you think?
Yeah, I like this brevity, and I was thinking, yeah, they definitely better not answer. And if they were at my door, if death was at my door, I'd slam that door so hard and be like, hey, I don't want to know your name. I don't want you to go near me. Stay away.
There you go.
All right, we got one more from Dave.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And after that, we'll play a little Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is it on the board yet? I don't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Refresh your page, Dave.
Huh?
Oh, just refresh your page. Sometimes the computer gets a little laggy.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I call this one. Come on, God. Bear with me just a minute here. Wait till this
No problem.
tin string thing gets okay. This is called Orange and Black. And it goes like this. Two perfectly matched colors, orange into black, black into orange. Colors of the season, colors of Halloween, warm as the changing leaves usher in the fall, bringing in our notions of a bizarre holiday, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, a time for make-believe, witches smiling, sardonic pumpkins that look at you from porches, windowsills, hook-nosed witches on broomsticks, cardboard cutout decorations. When I was a child at school, orange and black crepe paper twisted like orange and black licorice sticks, these paper streamers radiating to a central point in the schoolroom ceiling. What a fun time, indelible tattoos to my childhood, memories of times past, never to be forgotten. Halloween, the time machine reaching into the past, projector of past events, my favorite holiday because of this. Gives us a chance to believe in fantasy, magic, a bit of witchery, spooky stuff that plays so well on the human spirit, makes us who we are, trick or treat, universal spoken greeting at the door, your bag of goods, sugar and spice, and all things nice, little kids' delights, making the giver feel good, reliving their childhoods all over again. Rewind, replay, Halloween's here to stay forever, I say. My maple trees play in their shades of orange and reds, across the mountains spread, fiery and bright against velvet green, the sign of things to come. Halloween, Halloween. End poem.
Excellent. I like this. You brought back some memories for me too, especially when you talked about twisted like orange and black licorice sticks, these paper streamers radiating into the center point of the schoolroom ceiling. I remember that. We did that at my school too for Halloween when I was in grade school. I can picture it in my head. That's awesome. This is just great. You bring back Halloween memories, and yeah, it's the day. It's the one day of the year you can be what you want to be. I can remember one Halloween I went very obscure and I dressed as Sylvester Stallone's character from Lords of the Flatbush, and nobody could guess who I was.
That's my costume every year.
Well, this is an excellent write, Dave. This is awesome.
Thank you very much. I just started thinking about it, you know.
Yeah.
Every year when it comes around, I start thinking about it, and it affects me pretty much the same way all the time. I just remember, it just dredges up all memories of my childhood and what Halloween was all over that, you know.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
It is. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I think tonight Sky has the market on the candy. But you're right. It's true that, you know, holidays like Halloween, it lets us touch on fantasy. It makes us go back to childhood and remember those days. Because I do have a lot of fond memories, mostly from when my son was a child. Because I do remember Halloweens when I was a child. But the ones that I remember the best are the ones with my son James, because they were always so much fun. You know, you got to make believe and, you know, pretend in all these fairy tales and just have fun. And, you know, sometimes when you relive these old memories, it's going back to your childhood and, you know, having a second childhood, revisiting your youth. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, embracing the inner child. I feel one should do that all the time, as much as possible, because it keeps you happy. It keeps you sane. It helps to keep you playful and creative instead of, you know, hardening the self.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is a beautiful write, Dave. It definitely is a very nostalgic write.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Thank you.
And what did you think, Sky?
This was like everything I loved wrapped into one wrap. Huh?
You said you're probably eating candy.
Like everything. No more candy. No more candy. Oh my goodness. Probably shouldn't have let her have that candy. Yeah. I just thought this was it was like everything I loved wrapped into one, and I really love Christmas, but I really, really love Halloween. It's really hard to decide between them both, but I love the darkness of Halloween. I love October because who doesn't love all those fall colors? And I think it doesn't matter how old you get. You can still just do it. Just do it. But I really like my maple trees. Yeah, just do it. The older ones are getting a little bit too old, and they're starting to be like, I don't really want to do that. And I'm like, oh yes, you're doing it because I want to do it. And I had to do all these things when you were little, and Auntie still wants to do these things. So you're gonna sit there and make spiders, and you're gonna like it.
That's right, Crystal. That's exactly right. Yeah, you're gonna do it.
And the 14-year-old's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care if you're 18 years old. We're gonna sit here and make spider cookies. But
you're not too old for this.
I know they like I reel them in. I reel them in with the sweets. It's like they're cookies. You could eat them afterwards.
Yeah.
But I really loved the maple trees play in their shades of orange and reds across the mountain spread. I mean, this was fun. It was absolutely gorgeous written. Wonderful way to end the show, really, because this was just phenomenal. And it interwove so many things. I could really quote every line, but I can't because I got someone really loud in the background. But really, really well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. And Crystal, you get to be our last commenter of the night.
Oh, boy. No, I think I like the write, too. And it does kind of bring, like, nostalgia thinking about, like, trick-or-treating and Halloween. Because, like, being an adult on Halloween just sucks. Especially, like, when you're single and you have no children. Like, I'm pretty sure it'll be fun later down the road when I have kids. But now it's just like, what do I do with myself? It's like I can't find anything to do. And so, yeah, but, like, I still like the eeriness and all the spookiness of Halloween. But, yeah, there's just not much to do when you're an adult and you don't really know what to do for Halloween. But I still enjoy the holiday. So there's that. But, yeah, I really like this ride and a little thing she put in there, too. And side note, that black and orange also are the colors of the Cincinnati Bengals. So it's not just Halloween.
Ooh. They're not doing so hot.
I don't pay attention.
They're doing worse than my team. And that's hard to believe.
Well, I haven't heard my father talk about it, so I guess he don't care either.
I don't hate the Bengals. I hate the Steelers and the Ravens. But anyway.
It's been a love-hate relationship your entire life with those teams.
But anyway, thank you, everybody, for hanging with us in the overtime, the sudden death overtime. And we appreciate and hope to see you at more of our shows.
Yeah, because there's more to come.
Yep, just watch that topic.
All right.
Yeah.
It was fun time tonight.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. And as promised, we're going to close with some Van Halen.
Well, it better because I had this to be the opener and it defaulted to what I had originally. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a big Van Halen fan.
Good night.
All right. Okay. Okay, without further ado, we're going to say goodnight.
Yep. Good night and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, and thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.